are making it all happen. There's a bouncing ball to second. Taylor's got it. Los Angeles is alive, and they're headed to the World Series. Dodgers-Yankees in the Fall Classic.
Just a week ago, the Dodgers had their backs against the wall in an elimination game in San Diego. Many people thought it was over. They thought buying a team was never going to work. But now, they find themselves gearing up for what could be a World Series to remember against the New York Yankees. This is definitely the matchup that the league wanted, and in this video, I'm going to break down the Dodgers' path to get here, what they did right, and what things they can take and apply to this series to win it all, and also everything else going on with this team. But before I begin, I would really appreciate it if you would drop a like and subscribe. It only takes 5 seconds, plus you can always change your mind. We are on the road to 40k subscribers, and with your support, I believe we can get there super fast. So at the beginning of this offseason, the Dodgers did something that so many of us could not even comprehend. They basically gave Shohei Ohtanti $1 billion, $70 million this year when he could only be a DH. It was literal insanity. Like, his contract alone is more than a few franchises' entire payroll from top to bottom. And this move did come with its controversy. Many people felt like this was buying a championship and that they would never win without building from the ground up. From an outside fan of a small market's perspective, I thought a payroll like this should have been banned. But the Dodgers didn't do anything outside of the rulebook. They bring in a lot of money, so they were able to spend a lot of money. But even with the payroll they had, this season was full of ups and downs. Dave Roberts faced a lot of criticism, there were a lot of injuries, and so many other things. But the Dodgers fought through and overcame these things. Going into San Diego in an elimination game is not an easy thing to do, to say the least, especially knowing how much criticism they would face if they lost. But the stars stepped up. Shohei Ohtanti has been electric this postseason. Tommy Edman has been a monster at the plate. Kike Hernandez has continued his postseason magic. Max Muncy and Mookie Betts have been good, and Freddie Freeman is more than due to have a big series. There is just way too much talent up and down the roster. Alright, so in terms of the World Series, let's start with the Dodgers pitching rotation, which will be crucial in neutralizing the Yankees' powerful lineup. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, the Japanese phenom, has been lights out all season and will likely get the nod for Game 1. His devastating splitter and pinpoint control will be key in keeping the Yankees' big bats off balance. Walker Buehler, coming off a somewhat shaky postseason so far, needs to regain his form if the Dodgers hope to contain the Yankees' offense. His ability to mix speeds and locate his fastball will be critical, especially when facing the likes of Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton, who went absolutely insane in Cleveland. Jack Flaherty and a bullpen game around Landon Knack, Brazier, and Honeywell round out the rotation. Their performances really could make or break the series. Flaherty's experience and Knack's youthful energy could provide the spark the team needs in those crucial moments that come in every World Series. Now let's talk about the Dodgers bullpen, which has been a strength all season long. Evan Phillips has been a revelation, and his ability to shut down games will be vital against the Yankees' late inning heroics. Ryan Brazier and Blake Treinen provide solid setup options, while Michael Kopech's versatility allows him to pitch in various situations. There's also a lot of other guys I didn't even mention as well. One thing that could hurt the Dodgers in this series is that in the NLCS, they didn't really play in close games. There were very few tense moments, and as for the Yankees, even though they did win 4-1, every game in that series was neck and neck. And one swing or one thing could have changed the entire series. And the Yankees showed us that they have clutch players. So who's the guy on the Dodgers that's going to get a big hit in a close game on a stage like this? That is what we are all waiting to find out. In terms of the actual lineup 1 through 9, the Dodgers are so stacked with talent, and we all know that. Starting with the phenomenal Shohei Ohtanti. There's just something about him that is so intimidating. Every time he goes up to the plate, it feels like he is about to do something huge. It's his aura. It's just the way he approaches the game. There is not a single player like him on this planet. And quick story time, I really did not want to admit this, but I thought some of you might think this is pretty funny. When I was 12, Shohei's rookie year, I got his autograph at spring training. Yes, his rookie autograph. And me being 12 and not really knowing who he was at the time, I sold it for $40 because I needed money to buy the upcoming Madden. Absolutely brutal mistake. I try not to think about it, but man, just awful, and I try not to check or think about what it would be worth today. But anyways, getting back on track, let's talk about some of the players individually outside of Ohtani and what they need to bring to the table. So starting with Mookie Betts, he needs to be a tone setter. Whenever he gets on base, he causes immediate danger because of his speed, base running ability, and just the guys that are hitting behind him. And he brings his own power to the plate as well. And then Tommy Edmonds and Kike Hernandez also need to be huge. I think it will be the role players that determine this series, because both teams have a big three or big four at the top of the lineup. It's about how the other players do. We saw what the Yankees do in Cleveland. They hit home runs. Everyone swings for the fence, and that's how they will score majority of their runs. And you can't pitch scared because of that. The main way to attack this lineup the best is to avoid walks and make them hit to beat you, because the home runs are going to come one way or another. It's about keeping guys off the base path when they do come and limiting them to solo to 2-run home runs, because you can always come back from those. It's the 3-run bombs and grand slams that will beat you. But overall, I do think the Dodgers have a slightly more talented lineup and pitching rotation than the Yankees. And even though they did lose twice against the Mets, I felt like they were more dominant in the NLCS. I don't think there was anyone that really wanted to face the Dodgers this postseason, and the only team that had a real chance to beat them was the Padres. And the scary thing is that they are doing this in a season that was derailed by injuries. I can't imagine what they will be like in the upcoming seasons with a Shohei Ohtanti that can both pitch and hit, and when some of the other guys are healthy. And who knows, at this rate, they might even buy another superstar. It's ridiculous, but again, there's no rules against it thanks to Manfred. This is going to be such an entertaining series, and if I had to choose an X factor, it would be Freddie Freeman, because he hasn't really done anything too crazy in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs, and I feel like he's going to be the one that gets a huge series-changing hit. Here's what more people have to say about this upcoming series.
How long does Shohei celebrate? When does he start looking at the Yankees?
どのぐらいお祝いしたかお聞きしたいですと。今日は今日でもうみんなでお祝いして、明日からまた切り替えて、本当に最高のゲームだったなと思います。
Just finished celebrating as of now, ready to kind of switch the gear and move on to the next series and ready to go.
Dodgers will host the Yankees for games 1 and 2, and the teams that have appeared in the most World Series.
Kershaw's not on the roster.
But he's on the team.
But he's on the team.
I'm counting.
Judge, Stanton.
Yeah, Stanton.
Well, that's the one I'm not quite there yet.
Well, you better get there. You better get there because it's coming. I mean, he's our best power hitter. He's the best power hitter of his generation. I think Stanton has to be in the conversation. I understand that maybe postseason numbers may not come into play for a guy's Hall of Fame, voting standards, but you can't deny that Stanton has been a powerful force as far as the power goes. Since he's broken into the league. And yes, maybe he didn't perform up to the level during his Yankee tenure that you would have liked him to. But in this postseason, he's showing what his value is, and he's still extremely feared in the game right now.
That's really all I got for this video. Thank you all so much if you made it to this point. And if you enjoyed and haven't yet, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe, because your support truly does mean the world. And also, let me know what you would like to see next. And until then, I will see you all later.